All right, Shay Lynn.
Yes.
Shay Lynn, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I'm from Naples, Florida, born and raised.
And tell me about your family.
Um, so I had like a really good stepdad until my mom and him divorced. But other than that, she had like a few marriages, and really it was just us and our mom. She had like drug addiction issues, and
Your mom did.
I don't think she ever like experienced it to the severity that I'm experiencing it now. She always kind of kept it together enough for us to have like a roof at least.
She didn't have fentanyl though.
Well, back in that time, it was just the doctor shopping with the blues and stuff.
Right.
So fentanyl hadn't hit the streets then. And she never really did heroin. I think she shot up maybe for like a week, and that was like her breaking point. So I've way surpassed that. I used to be really angry at her, but now I'm just sad that I wasted a lot of time angry at her.
Did your mom eventually get clean?
She's been clean for 7 years. She works as a nurse, an in-home nurse for like schizophrenic patients.
Wow, that's great. How old are you?
I'm 27, 28. Honestly, I don't know. 28 maybe? 94? 28.
Did you get introduced to hard drugs? How and when?
Whenever I was divorcing my husband, we had got married at 16 and 18, and I didn't think ahead and stuff, but when we were getting divorced, we hadn't been separated in the system legally yet, so he took my child one night and didn't come back, and I didn't see my kid for like 7 months, and so in that time, in order to sleep, and I felt like my kid was kidnapped, and the cops wouldn't help, nobody would help. I didn't know where he was or what was happening to him. I didn't know anything, and his dad wouldn't speak to me, and I just felt like nobody was helping me, and my son was kidnapped, even though I can't say that because he wasn't, it was his dad. But, it was just the way the cookie crumbled. That was legal. So I couldn't sleep. I like cried every night, and I did this drug one night, and I sniffed the smallest amount of it, and I forgot I was sad, and had a great night, and was able to like push that down, and I started doing it a lot, and I finally had gotten an emergency pickup order to pick up my child. I got him back from his dad. We then had to go through court to do anything. And I eventually had won full custody, but all of this I did while hooked on drugs. So when I did win the full custody, my brother came and he took my son so that I could go to rehab and get clean. And I did do that. It was working for a while. Somehow I relapsed, I was like a chronic relapser, they say. And so
So the first hard drug you tried was?
First hard drug I ever tried was cocaine at 16, but all of that stuff didn't affect me until heroin. When I first sniffed heroin, it was like the love of my life. I was so happy, like, to find this thing. I felt like I was self-medicating. Like, my whole life I was bipolar. I couldn't control my emotions, couldn't sleep. And in my head, even though everyone else sees me nodding out, I thought, like, wow, I finally cured bipolar disorder, and if I could just do a little bit every day and manage it, then I could get through life. I had energy, went to sleep, and I didn't think about my missing son.
You're bipolar?
I'm not really sure. I was always diagnosed bipolar, but lately I feel like I have like borderline personality like disorder tendencies, and when I get high, I have, since the PTSD that I've like endured, I have like schizophrenic tendencies. I wouldn't say like I'm seeing things and hearing voices, but I'm so paranoid and so like traumatized, I guess, that sometimes it's like irrational, the fear that I have.
What drugs are you using? Your fentanyl?
I do fentanyl.
Anything else?
I did clear, and
Crystal meth?
but yeah, that stuff made me just full-blown like schizophrenic, so I couldn't do it because I'm already like freaking out every time somebody who speaks a different language, I think they're going to traffic me. Every time someone walks out of a room, I think they're talking about me. If I'm in a space with a man only and he's from the streets, I'm like, any second I'm going to get raped. I'm afraid of,
Have those things all happened to you in one way or another?
Basically, yeah. Like I watched my friend get beat with AK-47s. I watched her almost get trafficked. I almost got trafficked. I mean, her ex-boyfriend was mad at her, and that was enough for him to send some people after her to try to traffic her. Like, it's just, LA is like another dimension, third world country sometimes.
How long have you been in LA?
2 years. I took a break and went to Colorado, Wyoming, and Alaska. I went and did like a little vacation there after I was like kidnapped, And then for some reason I came back here because I was like, I'm not going to let the drugs get to me. I had fully detoxed myself and I was like, I'm going to go be an artist like I originally said. And no time, I'm back on the street because the cost of living is so expensive. And I just came out on a whim. I always do. There's no plan. So I get here and I'm like, well, now what?
Where do you stay now?
Oh. Like I said, wherever my friends nod out for the night.
So you just crash where you can.
Yeah, actually, I don't sleep so much that lately. I've been, I just fall and hit the cement like while I'm standing up, and then I'll start crying and telling everybody like I need to go to sleep. It's like nobody listens to me when I'm like I haven't slept in 4 or 5 days. It's like totally natural to people out here, and for me, it's torture. I haven't showered in 3 weeks. Like I can roll the dirt off my skin. Like it's got me in such a bad place recently.
What do you go through emotionally living this lifestyle?
Like I miss my son, and when I'm doing things sometimes I'm like, my son doesn't care about my girlfriend out here who has a kidney stone. Like he's wondering why I haven't called him in months, and I can't tell him that Mommy's getting robbed every week, that people are just, I don't know, beat me up for my stuff. I came here with like a Gucci tote that I bought myself and a Christian Dior purse, and I was beaten up and hospitalized for a week. My first week back because they wanted my purse. I can't tell my kid that. So my phones last about 24 hours,
Somebody
2
steals
days. Yeah, they last like 2-3 days if I'm lucky. My mom can't sleep at night, and I'm not sleeping at night, and my whole family thinks I'm gonna die out here.
Do you have any friends?
I wouldn't call any of these people my friends. I have associates. Some of them are nicer than others, but no, I would not sit down at a table and eat dinner with any of these people. I'm sure they're different people and they're clean as well, but we're living an animalistic lifestyle. Those people would do anything for a come up. Like if they were at my house and my family, something happened, like they would run through their pockets before they left, instead of calling 911. Those are the type of people that exist out here.
What do you credit most for your being in this situation now? Is it your borderline or bipolar tendencies, or is it something you inherited from your mom? The addiction?
I think that I got manic right after I left Florida because I was in an abusive relationship with a man, and he got arrested. The day he got arrested, they gave my son to my brother because he'd be like safer there. I lost my apartment and my car all on the same day. All of that happened. So I ran to Colorado, and I met a girl that was just like me. And she also got manic and left her boyfriend. And when we came out here, when you're manic, you're like, I'll make anything happen. Like I believe in manifestation. So, like, we were manic. I mean, we made things happen. Like, we were in Hollywood, and it wasn't until, like, the drugs hit after my best friend died from fentanyl. He only did cocaine. That was, like, the worst of it. And after that, I just kind of snapped. Someone tried to fentanyl me a couple times, and the third time when I woke up after they Narcan me, I was really sick. And so I was like, well, fuck it, you might as well give it to me. And it just makes it easier, I think, to not cry about my son every day, I can't just sit in a corner and bawl my eyes out every day. But I also am so hooked, that before I would have just left, but now it's like I gotta think I need enough stuff to get me home without getting me sick. Because last time I tried to do that, the Greyhound bus driver left me at a random gas station because I was throwing up in the bathroom. So I need enough stuff to get home without being sick so I can go to detox. I need clothes, hygiene and products, and a phone to contact my mother. That's it. And for some reason, I can't get that together to save my life. Once I, get my clothes, then the phone's stolen. The phone I get, my clothes are stolen. My friend got everything robbed off of him at a bus stop, and Goodwill wouldn't even give him an outfit. He walked back up to our little group of people completely naked. I had to walk through the streets completely naked. People are cutting backpacks off of us and threatening me with knives and stuff, and your t-shirt and jeans doesn't mean nothing when someone's threatening your life. But we don't, there's nowhere to the streets are literally the bathroom for these people. Like, downtown LA does not let you just use the bathroom. You can't just get cups of water because you're one in a million doing that, and they have a business to run, and they removed all the mirrors so that people can't sit there and pick in the mirror, it's crazy. There's some sort of skin disease going around. They've called it paranoia and stuff forever, and now I'm freaking out because there's doctors out there sampling people's skin and paying them $100 for it because they think it's a parasite, So there's so much going on in my head all the time that I have to get high just to ease my brain.
What are you afraid of most?
My son forgetting me, or me ending up giving up and staying, and just, I can't sit still. These people are having a good day, and laughing and hanging out outside. I won't calm down until I get home or I'm on my way home. I'm afraid that they get so annoyed with my pessimism because I'm sad. I'm afraid that I'll just level out with all of them and accept this as my life. And my son will be disappointed. My whole family will. I'm afraid I'll die and break my mother's heart. I'm afraid I'll get trafficked to Turkey, or raped by gang members and beaten and left for dead. Because all of these things happen here every day. There's a serial killer out killing white girls, I'm afraid I'm not going to last. Ellie's going to kill me. Yeah.
How do you support yourself now?
I used to sell a lot of drugs. I used to sell boxes of weed and stuff, so it's 100 pounds of weed in one go, and I still have a few buyers, but being on drugs, as soon as they find out that you're on drugs, they don't trust you with their money anymore. So recently I've got a girlfriend, and she boosts and sells to vendors, just stealing from the store, I try not to do that, but I do it for hygiene products and stuff, of course, because food, sometimes I have to. Somebody stole my food stamp card, and it took everything for me just to go to the office the first time and sit there and go through it, because you can't walk outside and hit your dope and come back in. You're there for 6 hours, you're gonna get sick sitting in the chair. took everything in me just to do it the first time, and now I have to go do it again, and I just haven't gone and did it, you know? There's no excuse. I just don't want to. I want to go sit in a corner and cry. I don't like people seeing me in cars, like when I'm walking down the sidewalk. And these people, they've accepted this life. They don't care. So I'm constantly fighting with my girlfriend because I don't want to do these things, or I don't want to be seen. And they're all like, oh, you think you're better than us? And I'm like, no, I think we're all better than this. And people look at me like I'm, you know, putting them down or something because I'm white, and I think I'm better than them, but I think we're all better than this, is what it is. I mean, you could tell some people are like, have a chance, and you could probably help them, and they would be okay. But some people, you look in their eyes, and they're just gone. They're on another planet, having their own conversations with their friends in their head, you know?
Do you feel like your old life is slipping away from you?
For sure, I'm forgetting who I was. I'm constantly like reminding people, like, hey, I'm a nail technician, this, that. And then they're like, I've got a client for you. And I'm like, sorry, all my stuff was stolen. But I remember just the other day, I was like talking to my friend, and I remember like talking how my kid talked when I was telling her about him. And I was like, I'm going to forget how he talks and like his mannerisms. And I forget my own mannerisms because I used to be, like bipolar. If I was bipolar, I would have been the kind that's happy 90% of the time, sad 10%. And now I'm just either disassociated, just not thinking. People talk to me and I don't hear it. Or I'm sad, I'm miserable. So I'm forgetting who I was, you know, because that was my whole personality. You know, I used to make jokes and say certain things, and like, I don't even remember who that girl is. I remember getting excited to see the mountains in Colorado the first time. And it was like, I went on this date with this guy, and he like took me all the way up to the mountains and showed me like the whole skyline lit up at night. And it was like my favorite day ever. And I was so happy. And now it's like nothing amazes me. I've seen so much like evil in the world that like, I don't even know if I could get that excited again or that happy again. I thought I wanted to know it all. I wanted to know everything, but you don't want to know everything. You can't take it back. I've seen some crazy stuff.
This is your lowest point right now?
This is the lowest point in my life, and probably any life that I've lived. If we are energy and can reincarnate, I mean, this is like the lowest point in any life I've probably ever lived. Like, my spirit is broken, for sure. I don't think I even have a spirit to break anymore. I'm just existing, if that makes sense. I feel like every day I have to fight off old men that have money. They feel that they can grab me and touch me and buy me and like think like whatever they want to do, they can do because they have money. And when I tell them no, like I'm not like that, I don't get down like that. You know, I've been like smacked, I've been threatened, I literally had guys look at me like, what is she talking about? Like, you know, this is just how it is. Like, and like my friends are like, don't you guys feel like this is rapey, you know, and like weird? And they're like, oh, it's just how it is. And I'm like, I don't want anybody to touch me like ever again. I don't even know if I'll ever have sex again the same way. Like it's almost like disgusting to me now. Like I don't feel the same feelings. I don't know if I could ever again. Like this is really shitty. I don't know if I'll ever find that girl I used to be again. Everything's so serious now.
Have you tried to get clean from fentanyl?
I think I like pretty much detoxed myself in Alaska. Those last couple of days I wasn't on Suboxone or anything, so I definitely was clean. And I was only on Suboxone to get off of like the fentanyl. I withdrawed and I was like convulsing. I mean, I was like screaming in my sleep. It was the worst detox ever. I swear to God, I was never going to go through it again. But I was told to come back out here because one of our vendors had made a, deal with like Cusco or something. They were going to be on taxes and it was going to be all paper deal, which meant it's legal. And so they were supposed to be like vans, to work vans. There were supposed to be 4 dispensary setups, and I was going to be able to live in one of the bedrooms of a 3-bedroom apartment. When I got out here, it was all a lie. The guy literally had nothing together. So like I ended up on the street. And I was so like gung-ho on convincing everybody that like I got this and like I had a job coming out here and I wasn't going to use. That when it happened, I just decided to like exile everybody. So they didn't know, how bad it was.
Shay Lynn, what's your biggest regret?
Ever leaving my home in the first place. I left because I had a warrant out for my arrest. And I had just gone through a whole lot of stuff, but I had family and support there. And I think that I just thought that I wanted to travel and see the world and I wanted to live, and experience all these things. And sometimes I look at my friends and I'm like, you guys don't even know. You guys have been there since high school, I've done all these things since then. But like, was it worth it? I would give anything up just to have my husband and my kid back, Now that I've seen the other side, but we don't get to see the other side and then choose one, that's the decision I made. And so my brother's at home playing video games with my ex-husband. They're best friends, and my son's running around doing his thing, and they're all just like a happy family, and I'm just wasting away. Unfortunately. Like when you just found me, I was just like begging people for a hotel voucher, like, so I could take a shower. Because it's been so long. I'm definitely defeated. I'm broken. For sure. When I wake up, I don't even want to move. I'm just existing in this body till it gives out.
What would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Like the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's probably like fake grass. Like just water your own grass and you'll be happy with it.
All right. Shay Lynn, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
We'll get you a room tonight, if nothing else.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.